kiddos! Today I'm doing a collab with Kathy Jo over at Kathy Jo DIYs. That crazy girl? Well, we just thought we would have us a hillbilly celebration today and celebrate all of our southern accents. Her and I are kind of twangy, so we thought we would put together you a little spring video. I know you can hear the birds out here just a-chirping and going on this morning. This one he's here every morning. He just keeps going and a-going. So we're having a little rain today, so I didn't get out in the front yard, but I'm out here on the back porch, and it's actually really nice today, which is shocking because I figured it'd be too cold. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Let's get to it. All right, so we need 3 of these bunny, I just read that, bunny eggs. So we need 3 of these Easter eggs, and we're going to trace 3 pieces of this brown paper to cover the backs up. Now, you don't have to have this brown paper. You could paint them, but there is glitter on there, and so I just want to cover those up before I start doing my decoupage on the front. So I do that to all 3 of them, cut it out, trim it off, glue them on with a glue stick, and then I get this tissue paper. I get a blue, a pink, and a green. You could do it all in white if you wanted. If you wanted neutral colors, that would be awesome. And then I just take the tissue paper and decoupage or Mod Podge it on there. I'm using my brayer to make it flat. And there's no reason to do that because I really actually want the texture. So I put about 3 layers of tissue paper on each one of these eggs on the back side of it. And the first layer is just one big piece. Then the second 2 layers, I took pieces, and you can see I'm just ripping it up and I'm Mod Podging it down. And I'm when I start with the blue one here in a minute, I wad it up. And so that's what you should do, is wad it up, because you want the wrinkles, because when we dry brush over it with the white paint later on, it gives it more texture. And that texture is what actually makes it look extremely cute here in the end. And I'm overlapping it when I Mod Podge it down. So you just do that to all 3 pieces. And I rip my pieces just this way and that way, but I try to not have any straight edges. That's the secret to making it look deckled or like it's patchworked. That's the secret. Do not have any straight edges on it, because that gives away, it makes the look not work. So you can see there where I had wadded up that tissue, and then I put a big old bunch down, and then I Mod Podge it down. And some of it's overlapping, so you have to pull it back up and put Mod Podge underneath it. Now I let it dry, and then I just take my little scissors and go around all 3 of them and cut off the excess. Now I got these baskets at the Dollar Tree. I got the cellophane at the Dollar Tree. That's just what you wrap up them Easter baskets in, or gift baskets. If you want to wrap them up, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where you buy them at the store and they look like that. So that's in the gift wrap section. It's just cellophane. And then I take me some great stuff or spray foam of any kind, and I spray it down in that basket inside that cellophane. And I first was a little bit worried about it because, you know, sometimes chemical reactions and all that garbage, but it didn't react to it, so I was happy. So I'm taking here in a minute, that's about a 36-inch piece, so a yardstick, if you had a yardstick, would work perfectly for this. I had a 6-foot piece of lattice is what I used, but a yardstick works perfect. And if you use them smaller eggs, you could do this with the smaller eggs, and it would work good too. Now you can see I'm just dry brushing on that white Waverly paint, which is my favorite. I know, Angie, get a new color, right? Anyway, and so I do that to all 3 of them. Now I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and I'm going to glue the first one on, and I've got it kind of cockeyed. I did one way and one the other way. So I'm using my clamps from my little clips from Dollar Tree to hold it on the first 2. Now you see there's a gap in the middle there, and that's because the pink one's going to go in the middle, and it's going to layer on top of the blue and the green one. And I just went left, pointed the tips of the eggs one way left, one way right, one way left. And here you see that I took a piece of burlap and I just decorated the middle egg, because the top egg's going to have a big bow on the top of it, and the bottom of it's going to be kind of covered up with that cellophane in the end. And so I didn't want it to have too much decoration on those other 2s, because it's just kind of a waste. So now when I'm putting this burlap on there, I'm only going to attach one side at a time. And I'm going to curve it around that egg, because if I just pulled it tight in the middle and didn't put the sides tight, it would hang funny. It would be like a straight shot. And so you have to just kind of finesse it around the edges of it and pull it taut, whatever you're talking about, Angie. Anyway, so now I'm going to pull that cellophane up around that bottom so you can't see that great stuff, and you can't see the stick from the front side of it. And now I'm going to, and I tied it just with a piece of jute until I could get it what I wanted down there. Now I'm taking this burlap ribbon with the lace on it that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm making me a 6-loop bow. As big as I made this bow, I should have made it an 8-loop bow. It was not big enough. What I do in the end is since it's wired, I kind of mash the loops down. You can kind of pinch them down in the back, and made the bow loops shorter. So I make me a centerpiece for it, and I'm making the tails, I think is what I'm making right. No, I'm making the centerpiece for it, I guess, for that bow. Now I'm going to make the tails, and I made the tails hang from the top of the egg all the way to the bottom egg. So I had one piece left off of one, so I used 2 9-foot rolls. Well, I used a whole 9-foot roll, and then I used part of another 9-foot roll. So now you can see I had some just antique lace that I bought at the thrift store for, I think I got it for $1.50 for like 60 yards. And so I haven't been using the far out of that stuff. I mean, I like to use it. I bought it. I don't want to have to keep it. And I'm one of these people, I'm going to start using all this stuff. I swear, I'm going to start using all this stuff I keep buying. But anyway, I put about 6 loops of the lace. And I had some pink, so I just wanted a little bit of pink in there because I wanted it to be kind of neutral looking. And on that tail, I rolled it around because I wanted it to look curled. And then I just put a tiny dot of glue at the very bottom of the tail and stuck it to the egg. I didn't want it to look just like I mashed it down. I wanted it to look like it was hanging natural. And it decided to hang there. Now, I know the angle of this thing is off, but this thing is like 3.5 foot tall, so I couldn't put it on my normal table, and I had to bring it over here to do it. So I apologize for the angle. I didn't get it right, but I was trying to hurry up and get this done so Kathy, Joe, and I could get our videos out today because I was running way behind, and I apologize, Kathy, Joe. It's my fault. It's my fault. But anyway, so I just put a bunch of that on there, and then I hot glue it down. And here in a minute, I'm going to tie some lace around the bottom. Oh, wait, I already did. I tied the lace around where I had put the jute. And now here I got it in my living room sitting on my table. But I think I'm going to take it out to my front porch when I make the second one. I think they turned out adorable, and I just loved it. Now, this is an oldie but a goodie, but I saw this on Pinterest probably a few months back, and then I saw everybody doing it, and I'd already done it, and I thought, I'm still putting it in here. I already made it. So I got these, and I got this chocolate brown from Rust-Oleum, and I took it out to the yard, and I spray painted them chocolate colored. Now I went in and painted their eyes white because, you know, on chocolate bunnies, their eyes have the white chocolate on them, and their little noses are pink. And so I didn't paint anything but the eyes and the nose. You could have painted the mouth. You could have painted the inside of the ears. It would have been super cute. But I tend to overdo sometimes, so I thought, you need to hold back just a little bit, girl. So I just painted those. The nose is that ballet slipper in the Waverly. And then I'm going to make me some bows to go on their necks. Now, hindsight's 20/20 because I should have made one a boy and one a girl. That would have been cute to make one a bow tie and one a bow. But, you know, your girl here, she was a little brain dead when she was doing this. So anyway, I just made these little pink bows. Now, you guys know that ribbon came from the thrift store, too. I'm all about the thrift store. No, wait, this came from that clearance sale that I got in Slidell, Louisiana, like 3 years ago. They were selling out all their bow or cheerleader ribbon, and so I bought a whole roll of it, and I think it had 25 yards on there, and that's what I'm down to. I'd say there's probably 5 or 10 yards left on that. But I have it in about 4 colors, and I got it for, I think the whole roll, it was selling for like $1.25 a yard, and I think I got the whole roll for like $4 or something. So, you know, I had to buy it. So, anyway, so make sure when you're cutting this gross grain ribbon that you take a lighter or something, not a match, but a lighter, and lightly go over those edges, because that gross grain ribbon will fray on you, and when it starts fraying, it's about gone before you get it stopped. So make sure to cut it, you burn your edges. And then I just hot glued them on there, both of them. These little bunnies, I put them a little bow on there, just a simple bow. You could have tied it with just some simple shoestring bows, would have been awesome. Here it is on my little table out in my living room, where I like to do everything. Now here's our third one, and this one's pretty easy. These are new candlesticks that I found at the Dollar Tree this weekend. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to do these before anybody else does them. Yeah. Anyway, so I got 6 of them because I like to have 3 candlesticks. I don't know. I don't want both candlesticks to be the same width, same height. I like 3. Now that I thought about it, I should have bought three more of them. So I got 6 to make a 3-tier. But if I had gotten 9, I could have made it 5 tiers, and that would have been even better. I might go back and get me 3 more of those. That would be perfect. Make me 2 shorts and a small, or 1 short and I don't know. Y'all figured it out. There's 5 of them. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I'm gluing them together with that E6000, and then I use the hot glue to hold it until the E6000 can get it dried. Now I took these rhinestones, and you can get them little pearls that they have at the Dollar Tree. These rhinestones actually come from the dollar bins in Michael's like years and years ago, and I'm just, like I said a while ago, your girl is trying to use up what she has and stop buying so much stuff. Ha ha ha. And that's not how my husband's seeing it for sure. But anyway, I just took all of them, and anywhere there was an edge, except for the bottom, because the bottoms tend to knock off pretty easy. So I went around the edges in the middle and on the tops of them, and except for the short one. The short one I only did around the top. And I glued them on. Now, some of them stuck really well, and I didn't have to use the E6000 or the hot glue. And others, I think the glue was just old on there, and I didn't do it. So now I am really going with this white Waverly chalk paint. I gave it 2 coats, and it took forever to dry between coats. I didn't try to do it too thick, but that second coat I got pretty thick because I wanted it to go in between those rhinestones, and I wanted it to look almost beaded. And so to do that, you got to put a pretty heavy coat on there. Plus, you got your grooves in there that weren't filled. So I was trying to fill it with paint. So that's probably the most of why it wouldn't dry, is because I kind of gommed it on there. So if y'all put thinner coats and are smarter than me, but I was in a hurry, of course, like always. And so it took me 3 coats to get it going. Now, here in a minute, I'm going to take some black after I get all the coats on there, and make sure that with this Waverly chalk paint that you go in the same direction. You don't want a bunch of one way and then another, because it leaves stripes. So I decided that I want these for my bedroom, so I'm going to dry brush it in black. I probably should have done it in a gray instead of the black, because my bedroom is gray and white, but I still think that it will look really cute. After I saw them, I was just like, I gotta have these. And I could either use them in my bedroom or in my dining room, because my dining room is black, red, and white. So, or my dining room and kitchen area is black, red, and white, which y'all know that it's buffalo plaid. So, and of course, red, because that's my favorite color. So, I dry brush it on there, and I first was just going to do it real light, and the more I did it, the more I liked the heavier coat. Now, y'all can dry brush it with whatever color suits you, but this is what I liked. What do you think? Hey, I had to jump back in. I wanted to tell you about the new challenge that I'm co-hosting with Sammy over at Unicorn Dust Designs on March 30th. It's called Try It Tuesday. So everybody on the playlist will have tried at least 3 things from 3 other YouTube DIYers, or something they saw on Pinterest, or just anywhere, and recreate that video, that that craft project. So I hope that you stop back by next Tuesday and you really enjoy it. Make sure to follow all the girls in the playlist and watch each one of their videos. I hope to see you over there. Well, let's get back to it. All right, before you ask me, where did I get these candy cane things? Somebody had them on Marketplace for sale, and so I got those, and I got those pumpkins. I got like 8 pumpkins. I was so excited. I like to pee my pants. It was crazy. All right, so you need zip ties. You flip one. You're like, Angie, those are not the same, going the same way, because one's upside down and one's whatever. You're right, they are, but it doesn't make any difference. So I'm going to take zip ties, and we're going to make us a carrot is what we're making. And I know you've probably seen this. I saw it twice after the fact, but oh well, you know. Here we go. So I took some zip ties and I zip tied it together. The smaller these zip ties are, the better. The orange ones work great because I'm using the orange netting ribbon. I don't know what you call that stuff. Foo-foo. Can't even remember. Anyway, so I'm going to be using that. So here's my next hint. I thought I was going to just wrap this around here really quickly, and it was going to be like a 2-minute project. Well, let me tell you something. That didn't work, and it looked gross and ugly, and it kept sliding off, and I was like, oh, bull butter, that ain't even going to work. Like, you goofball. Anyway, so I unrolled it, and I thought, well, I'm just going to do it like I normally do it, and I cut me 4 rolls of this orange in 6-inch sections, and I should have cut 5. And you're going to see me putting this on here in 2 rolls. Now, this same girl that I bought these things from, she said, oh, no, you just bundle them up in 2. And I was like, well, I've always bundled them up in 3s and 4s. And she said, no, you just need 2. Well, that's wrong. I'm just going to tell you right now, you can see through it, and I don't like it. And so, you know, when I have a project that I don't like, I'm going to tell you how to do it the right way, because I'm going to show you the way I messed it up. First thing, I should have had orange or brown pipe cleaners, or green because the wires are green. Either way would have worked better than white. White, I could not get covered up. But first of all, I didn't have enough ribbon on there. So now if I'd add, I only used 4 on here. If I had used 5, you wouldn't have been able to see it. But, so I'm going to tell you one of those things again, do as I say, not as I do. I'm pretty good at that. So I'm going to tell you what I did to screw it up. So, and first of all was the pipe cleaners. The second thing was I didn't put 3 of those rolls in one bundle with the pipe cleaners, or what do y'all call them? Chenille stems, I think is what y'all call them. Anyway, so I'm taking some of the longer, before I cut them, and I cut my chenille stems in 3rds because there is no need to have that big of a winding thing that you're just going to have to cut it off later. So what I do in the middle part, though, is I wind me up some so I can have them as a brace across there so that it makes my shape in the middle. Otherwise, I just have big, I don't know what you'd call that. But anyway, a ribbon look. But, yeah, so I, put them on there. And then here in a minute, I took that green tubey stuff, and I don't even know what to call that stuff. I'm going to use just the whole roll. See, I'm just filling in there. And see how you can see all the white chenille stems? When that's before I poked them back down. It's not as bad there, but anyway, I took that stuff straight out of the package and put a zip tie around it and tied it to the thing. I didn't try to mess with that stuff because it's hard to do. It springs everywhere, but it was the perfect size for the carrot top, just like that. So I just gathered it up in the middle and put a zip tie and zip tied it on. Now I'm going back through and fluffing it and put all them white things down. Now I had this, you don't see this in the final pictures, by the way, but I didn't like it. So I went back and I'm trying to, add a little something. And my daughter said, that looks stupid. So, 18-year-olds, they tell you the truth. I appreciate it. So she's like, I don't like that stuff on there. But I liked it. But anyway, I'm old. So now here's the whole project. And I just want to say thank you, Kathy Jo, for letting me collab with you today. You are such a sweetheart. Y'all go over there, find her video down in the comments, and like, subscribe, and comment on this video. And I'll see you next Tuesday.